Good afternoon, guys and girls. Ready for another Sunday afternoon chat. We have just been back in the United States. Actually got back late last night. Watched the Oklahoma University football game against Kansas. Woo-hoo-hoo. Go Jayhawks. I'm telling y'all whooped our tail for 3/4 of that football game. Almost 3/4 of the football game. And toward the end of the third quarter, we watched that late last night as we got back. I don't know what time it was, 12:30 or 1 o'clock. We watched the recording of that football game. We hadn't checked the scores or anything, so we didn't know what anybody had done that day in college football. But college football, Boomer Sooner, we don't know if we're good or bad, but we are undefeated. That's what we are. That's all we are. We are very good sometimes. We are very bad sometimes. We're like the little girl. This is very good. She's very good. When she's bad, she's horrible. And that's kind of the way we were for most of the first 3/4 of that football game. But somehow we found a way to win. Kansas plays us really, really well. Last year when Kansas was in Oklahoma, we went to the game, and not last year, I guess it was the year before last, but anyway, the last time they were in Oklahoma, we went to the game, really, really cold that night, and Kansas played us really, really well there. And they don't win many games, but they play a lot of people really well, and they played us fantastically. That's what I can say. Fantastically. They played us great. We play them that way a lot in basketball, but we still lose. So you Jayhawk fans, take the consideration in that we play y'all. I remember a couple years ago we played the triple overtime. We still lost. We play Kansas so tough in basketball and we lose. They play us very tough in football and they lose. So I guess that's turnabout's fair play. I don't know. But anyway, guys and girls, we spent all week in Mexico. That's really all we have to talk about on this week's chat. Stem cell transplants. We got one for Chris. I went ahead and just as a support to her, I went ahead and did a stem cell transplant on myself. Now, I didn't get nearly as many. I got like what a regular dose is, which is about 50 million cells. That's what you get here in the United States for about $14,000 or $15,000. Down there, it's like 3,500, so it's about 1/4. But I went ahead and got one of those stem cell transplants myself. Honestly, I can't tell any difference whatsoever. No difference whatsoever in my body. I got a couple, 2 or 3 places that hurt, like my wrists, my thumbs on both sides, probably arthritis, I don't know, from the reel and all that over all these years. A little soreness in my shoulder that hurts occasionally. None of that's changed, so I don't see anything that's changed at all, just being 100% honest, which is the only way that I know to be. Haven't seen anything that changed. Of course, that was, this is Sunday, that was Wednesday, so it's been just 3 or 4 days. Chris, obviously I haven't seen any difference in her whatsoever. She's still the same as she was before we had the stem cell transplant. But let me tell you, I can't wait. I think God is involved in this because Gary Cotton, my buddy down there in Ada, a good Christian man, and Gary called me about this, and I prayed about it. I just felt like that God was leading us to go down there and do that, and we did. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens over the next couple, 2 or 3 months or 6 months or whatever. If we think that things are progressing, we may go down and get another one in 6 months, or we may not. We'll just see what happens. I know that if God is in it, we're going to win it. That's what I know. If God is in it, we're going to win it. And I think that God will use those 200 million cells and move them throughout her body. You run them through her brain. And our blood transfers through our body every 7 minutes. So that those veins that are going through your brain, the one that burst, that caused that flood of blood on her brain and damaged her brain like it did, now those veins that's running through her brain will have healing stem cells in them, and so hopefully hopefully they'll start healing her brain and she'll be able to start using her right arm again. That will connect. Her brain will realize that she's got a right leg, and that will start responding to her brain like it's supposed to. So we'll see that happens. But we had a great week down there. Honestly, we did not do any fishing. Can you imagine Jimmy Houston going to Cozumel and not doing any fishing? We didn't do any diving. I took a swimsuit and never got it wet. Never. The only time I got wet was in the shower or when it rained. It rained every day down there, so it rained quite a bit. We had fantastic food. I bought all the plane tickets for Sherry and Jack and Chris and I to go down there. Jack bought the hotel, and he put us up at the Westin, which is really, really nice. We had all of our meals inclusive. The only bad thing about it, all the meals inclusive, is you need dessert every meal because it's paid for. Does it cost an extra $10 for dessert? So we ate fantastically. And honestly, Chris slept a lot down there. I slept a lot. I never in my life have hardly ever taken a vacation period, ever. ever anyway. The last one we took all the kids down to Disney. That was really the first actual vacation I'd had in 20 or 30 years. But we actually, it was like a vacation. Chris slept a lot. The trip was hard on her going down, and we slept a lot down there. We didn't even go down to downtown Cozumel until the last day, and Lord have mercy, those guys they're trying to sell you everything. I'd have probably bought a lot of stuff. They just leave me alone. Let me alone and let me shop. But they won't do that. They're more high pressure than any high pressure salesman you have ever seen here in the United States. They just grab you from every way, and they're trying to sell you everything in the world. And if they had just let me alone, I didn't buy nothing. And I like to buy stuff. I didn't buy nothing. I kept asking Chris, you see anything you want? You see anything you like? You see anything you want? She didn't either. And I think they bugged her because she does not like high pressure salesmen. She does not like, you got to sweet talk Chris. I know how to do that, but you got to sweet talk her. But we went down to Cozumel the last day we were there downtown. We stayed at the Westin most of the time, and we basically just ate and slept and enjoyed the scenery, enjoyed the company. The four of us together had a great time. Sherry and Jack had a nice vacation out of it, and it went well. We shot about an hour of video total, about 60 or 70 or 80 minutes of video, 20 or 30 videos showing the actual stem cell transplant. So you will see it happen. The audio was not good during all that because we were inside of the doctor's offices, and the audio is not good because we didn't hook any audio up. We probably should have, but we really didn't know what was going to happen, what was going to transpire. So we just shot video, and we'll send all that up to Pat today, and he'll get it out. We might try to, I'm going to suggest, and that's all it is a suggestion to Pat, because he runs a production company. I let him call the shots. And that's what's kept us on television for the last 45 years, is Pat calls the shots on the production. All I do is get in front of that camera, fish, and have a great time. But Pat will call the shots on it, but I'm going to suggest maybe as early as next week, maybe a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night video. We normally have a Monday and Wednesday video anyway. Might have a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to get those down to short videos where they won't bore you to death. But you'll actually see what goes on in a stem cell transplant. I had no idea. But you'll see what goes on that, so that'll probably be kind of an interesting thing to watch. And like I said, the audio is bad because we did not hook up microphones. We were there for a very serious stem cell treatment, something that can really help Chris. And stem cells are designed to heal infections and damaged parts of your body. Whether that might be your heart, it might be an internal organ, it might be your brain. And Chris's brain is what's damaged. And now she's got running through her blood these 200 million stem cells that are healing stem cells. They do not come from fetuses. That is where a lot of stem cells has come in the past. A lot of the research was done. That's where they come from. I understand. These stem cells come from donated placenta. The exact same things happens here in the United States, I'm told. Definitely not a doctor, definitely not educated on this at all, other than what I've learned just in the last a month or so, and learned a little bit more down there this week. Donated stem cells from placenta. They are harvested within 48 hours of when they put them in your body, so they're fresh, they're clean, and it's just kind of an amazing, simple process, really, is what goes on. And so you'll be able to see that and look at that, and you'll know at least a little bit more. You'll know what I know at least about it, and that's not really a whole lot, but you'll know a little bit more about stem cell transplants. Are done all over the United States. We have centers all over the country. They are happening every single solitary day. The main difference is they're very, very expensive, and you can get a lot larger dose. The dose that I took myself personally was about what you get here in the United States for $14,000 or $15,000, and the dose that Chris took was about 6 times that much. It was 5 or 6 times that much, so she had at least 200 million cells, but it is specifically for a stroke victim. And one of the great things that and really made us really interested in this is Dr. Alejandro down there in Mexico. Her daddy had a stroke, and it couldn't walk and couldn't talk and couldn't use his one of his arms and one of his legs, and she actually had heard about and been studying stem cell transplants, and studied a lot and gave him a stem cell transplant, and now he's perfect. We actually saw him down there. And he was at a coffee shop right next to her offices, and drinking coffee with friends, visiting with them, and having a great time. Does that every day. Alejandro said he spends way too much time at that coffee shop, but he's retired, and he spends time at that coffee shop visiting with his friends. When he got through drinking his coffee, he gets up, walked out to his car, gets his car, and drives off and drives home. Going to come back later in the day and visit with more friends. So he is walking, talking, everything just as normal as ever. And he still does take stem cell infusions, I guess is a proper word, because they are infusing them into your blood, is exactly what they're doing them through an IV. And you'll see all that on that film. But she had a man come in as we were leaving. I was getting some stem cell infusion, and he's a runner. He's getting ready to run a race, and he takes a stem cell infusion to make sure that everything in his body is just tip-top shape, because before he runs this race, this big marathon race. So I guess there's a lot of reasons and a lot of things and a lot of things that it cures. And like I said, I did one myself basically to support Chris and let her know, honey, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think it could help you. And I'm going to take one just to show you that I believe it's safe. If it's not and it kills us both. We'll walk into heaven together. We'll walk into heaven together. We will walk into heaven. I will be wheeling her in there. Everywhere she goes, I'm right behind her. Everywhere, that's what I told her. I said, wherever you want to go, honey, I'll be right behind you. And but we'll have her out of that chair pretty soon. She'll be back down at the ranch. She'll be back down at the ranch this week anyway, so that's a fantastic deal to think about. I've got Shell customers coming in this week, and we'll be doing some fishing. And Chris will be coming down Thursday and be there with me for about another couple of weeks after that. So I'm really looking forward to that. Not much has happened in the last couple of weeks as far as Chris's recovery. I've been with her every weekend at least, and I at least for a 3-day weekend, and I really can't tell a whole lot of difference. If anything, it seems like that her speech is not as good as it was, but I mean, if I was a doctor, I might say it's a little bit of a setback. But we expected this to happen also, and I think that you're not always taking steps forward. Sometimes you're standing still, and sometimes you might be even backing up just a little bit. But I believe that God is in those stem cells. I believe that God will start using those stem cells to heal Chris's brain and other parts of her body that might be damaged from this stroke. And everything's going to be fine. But we'll probably try, like I said, probably not this week. I said too quick to get those out. I have sent those to Pat after we got home from church this afternoon. I didn't even go eat with the family. I've got to get back down to the ranch. Got a lot of work to do down there at the ranch today and tonight before my guests get there tomorrow. But I wanted to get this Sunday afternoon chat out and let's let you know what we've been doing. And that's all we did this week. We went down there Monday. We got back late last night, so it's been a full 6 days. We had a marvelous time down there, a wonderful time. Rained every day. It was just wonderful to see rain. You know, we haven't seen much rain at the ranch. It's got a nice cloudy day today. It's a possibility of getting a little showers in Oklahoma this week. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to have some high winds come in from the south, high winds from the north. Usually that creates some rain and storms. Slight chance down in southern Oklahoma. The rest of the state's probably going to be blessed with a little bit of rain. We're going to the OU football game next Saturday. Taking a lot of the family down there. Chris and I and Jack and Sherry will be in Joe Castiglione's suite at the football game with my very dear friend Joe. And I know Joe is so anxious to see Chris. Chris is anxious to see Joe. She loves Joe Castiglione to death. Greatest athletic director in the world. But more importantly than that, he's a great friend and a great man. And so we're looking forward to that. We bought a bunch of tickets for the rest of the family, and they'll be sitting in another suite and just having a great time. And they were playing Texas Tech, which is always good because Pat Turner, who runs my production company, y'all know Pat graduated from the Texas Tech University, and so he roots for Oklahoma. Pat's got it all covered. Pat's got one son that graduated from Oklahoma University, one son that graduated from Oklahoma State, a daughter that graduated from Northeastern, and his other son attended Texas Tech University. So, and he graduated himself from Texas Tech University. So Pat's got it all. He just goes to an OU Texas Tech game, and every time somebody scores a touchdown, he jumps up and claps and cheers. So, but he's really deep in his heart pulling for Texas Tech, and I don't blame him. I'd be upset with him if he didn't, since he graduated from Texas Tech. He feels about Texas Tech the way I feel about the University of Oklahoma, and that's good. That's really good. And football season is one of the greatest times in the world to bring all that out. Sherry trimmed the sides of my hair. I don't know if y'all noticed that. Got it out of my eyes where I can see. I have not trimmed the back. Let it grow until Chris can use that right arm. Let it grow until Chris can use that right arm. Might have to stick a little ponytail to make some of y'all happy out there. I never had hair this long all my life, so I guess just an old hippie. That's what I am, is an old hippie. But guys and girls, go out there and have you a great week this week. You know, I tell you what, we've the last couple of weeks at Keys Baptist Church, and we're going to get to go to Midway Hills Baptist Church next weekend and take the family, because we're going to have some of the family down at the ranch, and hopefully we'll get to fill a pew or two, pack a pew or two there at Midway Hills next Sunday. That's my hopes and my desire anyway. But at Keys, we're still studying the 23rd Psalm. When you think about the 23rd Psalm, it talks about all the things that God will do for you and me. And it's just amazing. And he loves us so much that he anoints our head with oil. I mean, he anoints our head with oil. You remember, before Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection, Martha poured or Mary or Martha one, I don't know which one, poured the expensive perfume on him, anointed him with that. And that's just a total respect and love, shows how much God loves us. He blesses us and blesses us and blesses us. So as you go through these weeks and you have some little things that don't go right, and there'll be tons of stuff go wrong this week, just remember, God loves you so much. He anoints your head with oil. He prepares a table for you in front of your enemies, and he guarantees that you will live in the house of the Lord forever. Forever, not just while you're walking on this earth, but forever. So make every day a happy day. Make every day a joyful day. I'm so excited about this stem cell transplant. I can't wait to see what God is going to do next in Chris's life, in my life. But I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be good, because all things work for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. His purpose to love us, to make us righteous through the blood of Jesus Christ. Have a great day every day. When you get up tomorrow morning, Monday morning, yuck, just get up and say, Monday morning, great. A start of another great week, and we're going to have a blast this week. I'm going to get to do some fishing. I hope you are too. Remember, guys and girls, I sure do love you.